Welcome to the Spazyote Podcast. I was just waiting for him to talk and then to talk
I
over
thought
him.
you were waiting for me. Okay, you were just going to talk
Yeah,
over like
yeah. Welcome. Hey, you can't swear in the first 10 minutes of a YouTube video, dude. You got to get the algorithm right, man. Got to get that algorithm right.
We had W. So, welcome to the Spazyote Podcast. This is episode 1. I'm pretty sure we've done a couple of podcasts.
This is a rejuvenated podcast. It's reinvented.
Rejuvenated podcast with a proper name.
Yep.
Someone say Ninja. Yeah, Ninja. There you go.
Oh, we're going on to our first topic. I should add.
So we're going on to our first topic. So our first topic, which I got pointed down here, Mixer closing.
Great.
Which, I mean, by all means, some of us did not predict at all. I mean, I wouldn't put money on it now, but I mean, you know. So, as most people have noticed and realized, Mixer has sadly closed, which has left a lot of people in the lurch.
Yeah, it's not
good. A lot
good.
of streamers in the lurch. Either people were banned on Twitch and moved to Mixer, or they chose Mixer because their Ninja and Shroud were there, or whatever the fucking reason. Is now Ninja is being bought out by Facebook, and people like, I think Ninja got $30 million and Shroud got $10 million or something for like
something insane.
I think Ninja was there. He did 8 months of work for $30 million. What's that rounded down to a month?
I just got to turn you up, dude. I don't know how to turn you up from here. Oh, we got full spasmo.
Yeah. That's a lot of fucking, that's a lot of.
Just keep talking. I've got to increase your volume. Keep talking. There you are. Better now. The chat's still popping off. There we go.
The chat is still popping. So for our audio listeners and our YouTube listeners, we are on Twitch also. So by all means, join us there. But yeah. So what do you think of Mixer closing? What is your overall opinion? And your streams went black.
Yeah, that's fine. I was fixing it up. Well, for me, I once considered I was going to move to Mixer. Did you? I was like, this seems like a good platform. I did one stream. I couldn't figure out shit. Because Twitch...
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we talked you out of it as well.
I just, leveled up in Twitch, man. I've maxed my level out in Twitch.
Maxed your level out in Twitch, yeah.
Have you ever seen a Mixer stream? I don't understand what they are. I know we're going to get so much hate for me saying that.
I think I'll watch some of your Mixer stream. I mean... Did I watch more than a few minutes? It took me fucking forever to set up an account and try to fucking operate the thing.
Because you don't run Windows 10.
I was doing on Windows 7 because I got a Spud PC, but we're not going to... Again, Spud mode. Not the topic of conversation.
Yeah, I think it is.
It was a very confusing site when it first started. I understand with updates and things it got better.
It didn't have a direct...
And redesigning, but it wasn't an easy site to use. How the points, there was a point system, like supposedly like bits that just fucking didn't work properly. I mean,
bits don't work that great.
If anyone, I know we're doing this on Twitch, but if anyone is from Mixer and has come over, maybe you can shed some fucking light on the situation.
Comment below if you're on the YouTube.
Comment below, I guess.
YouTube Gaming, number one. Because
tell us if that system got better, because we tried it out. I don't know started last year or some shit, and it was fucking hard. It was just a horrible experience as a consumer, not only as a viewer but as a
consumer, like you said,
as a consumer or a streamer, I guess, from my understanding. Unless you
did you hear the reason why they stopped, like why they shut down?
Yeah, because isn't that what started the whole
the cancer thing? Yeah, but did you hear the guy that spoke up about what they were doing?
Oh yeah, because he was being a fucking creep.
No. That's I think that's Twitch. Mixer, they were being racist. Okay. I don't know what part of it was a manager or something. I don't want to outspeak. I don't even know their name.
I thought he was doing. I thought he did something.
Whoa! What the hell is this? This is a great stream already. My phone's fucking talking to me. No. One of the managers on Mixer was calling the partners slaves. as a joke,
okay,
and they were
making very. I'm pretty sure they did both. They did racist remarks and sexist remarks.
And someone called them out, like the dude that left and then reported on this called them out. They were like, "Oh, you need to work on yourself if you find that offensive." So yeah, and then Twitter found out about it, and everyone like stopped using Mixer or stopped making income for Mixer.
I have to admit, when anything gets on Twitter, it spreads like wildfire, doesn't it?
Like the Twitch blackout.
Well, I mean, we don't even know if that still happened. I mean, some people did it, some people didn't, some people half did it. I mean, that's the next topic of conversation as well, is the whole everything that's happening on Twitter at the moment. I mean, it seems to be going from trend to trend, which I mean doesn't seem too sort of outblown for a social media company, but it started with COVID, then it went to the riots, then it went to then it did the whole Black Lives Matter circle round as well. I mean, and now we're back. Was it now we're on sitting on the whole abuse thing? Which I mean, by all means, don't take this out of the wrong context, people. If you've been abused, you've been abused. Speak up. I mean, because there are people out there who are in the same boat as yourself and don't have either the courage or not in the correct situation where they can, or they don't have the evidence to be able to. But at the end of the day, abuse is abuse, and it shouldn't happen.
No.
So I
think we can all agree that.
I mean,
what got me? What got me going off though? The dudes are like, "Oh, where's the evidence? Where's the evidence?" Like your whole life is being recorded or something. I was like,
I mean, I have to admit, before you start blasting people on the social media, have facts to back it up. Like, because I'm sure there's stuff to come out down the line and stuff, but a good example is that two people, have you heard of Syndicate?
Yeah.
Syndicate Original?
Yeah.
So he has had two females accuse him of rape and other horrible abuse things. And there's no other than them saying what's happened, there is no physical evidence to back it, which I mean, understandably, is hard when it comes to. I understand with rape and things like that, it's very hard to have any evidence of what actually.
How do they have evidence though?
Sort of stuff. I mean, yeah. It's apparently from what the stories have been said, it's one person said that it was consensual to start with, then it led to something that wasn't consensual, sort of thing. And then I don't know what the other story is, but I'm pretty sure it's very similar sort of thing. So I mean, if any evidence does come to light, sort of thing, then he's in the wrong. He's done the wrong thing. But at the end of the day, I mean, blasting people on Twitter just because you're hearing and this is the real point I'm getting to now, is that it's like people just jumping on the train or the wagon of blasting someone because they've heard it from someone else.
Mm-hmm.
It's the whole sort of like Chinese whispers sort of thing. It's like, oh, I heard you did this through this person and that person, and just adding fuel to the fire when there doesn't need to be fuel added to the fire. The situation is already horrible and fucked up as it is. You don't need to add fuel to the fire with just your personal opinion.
Twitter opinions, dude. You love them.
And I mean, I guess here we are speaking our own opinions as well. So I mean, we're not helping the situation any. But I mean, at the end of the day, if you've done something wrong, and if you own up to it, then by all means you own up to it. You do your time, whatever. It's like, I think people will respect you a bit more than sort of hiding away and having to be drawn out. Like a really good example of this is that another fellow streamer, who we both watch, he has an artist who did a bunch of animations for him, did like $7,000 worth of work, and done it for a lot of other streamers as well. And he's just got outed recently as a pedo. So it's and there's evidence to back. There's a lot of evidence to back it up, apparently. So
who makes this all worse though? We're going to drop his name. Fucking Keemstar.
What?
Keemstar, he just jumps on accusations. He never has any facts.
He starts
all the Twitter beef.
there's a lot of people.
Fuck Keemstar.
I don't want to say Keemstar is
he's one of the
yes,
fire
he does
starters.
have a big audience and he has a big thing, but it's like
you got to explain the blackout as well. Chili wants to know.
Yeah, yes. But anyway, I'll get back to that. But it's like people like Keemstar and stuff. They just jump on the bandwagon and the train, and just spread more horrible things about this person, which either aren't true or off very, very one-sided person facts, which aren't always. You need two sides of the story to know what's actually going on. And if there's a lot of evidence pointing that someone did something wrong, then the evidence is going to show what that is. But there are people like Keem who just, because they don't like that person because of some reason,
biased news.
They're more popular than that person, whatever it is. It's a very, very biased opinion. And when it comes to this sort of shit, you can't be biased. You have to be, what does the evidence show? Is this a reoccurring thing? Is it a one-off that someone got pissed off and then decide, I'm going to say he abused me or they abused me or whoever, and then move down the track. But I mean, yeah, the whole blackout thing, Chili. I guess just to quickly sum all this up, the whole blackout thing was Twitch's There's a thing going around on Twitter saying, if everyone goes blackout on the 24th, which is today, which is the 24th in America, it's 25th here in Australia, that all Twitch streamers don't stream for that day to show respect for and empathy for people who've been abused. Now, as a streamer myself, I don't think that's probably the right way to go, because I mean, yes, I'm a small time streamer, but I have people coming into my chat telling me, having you stream has made my day. Like,
do you follow Third Artifact? I think she organized it. I don't know if she did organize it, but she was definitely a big voice. I don't know. I just randomly follow her. I've got a video here that I can show you.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Maybe you can add that into the video.
I'm playing it now, dude.
Brief chat
You're playing it now?
about what the
Okay.
whole point of Twitch Blackout is.
Can I talk over it or not?
Just wait a second.
Trying to silence the survivors of sexual assault. The whole point was to talk about these issues on platforms where Twitch would not be making any money. So no ad revenue, subs, bits, anything like that. For those of you who are deciding to use your voice on Twitch, that's perfectly fine. I consider that you're participating because you're bringing this issue to light. So I think it's time that we stop saying you need to do this, or I'm blocking you, or I'm not participating because this is wrong. What it comes down to is we are bringing sexual assault on Twitch, racism, homophobia on Twitch into the light and saying Twitch needs to do something. I know a lot of people have been saying that Twitch doesn't listen, and you're right, they really don't. And that's why the idea was to do it where they wouldn't make money, because we all know they listen to money. So that was the whole point there.
There you go.
So
this is Blad's on. So she says, basically what she says is the whole idea was just to start a movement to stop Twitch making money from bits, subs, like she said. And she said it was fine if you don't participate in not streaming, or if you do stream and you want to talk about it. That's also good.
Everyone does it in their own way.
Yeah, it's a very balanced-headed explanation of what the whole event was.
You're absolutely right, Chili. Rape accusations literally ruin people's lives, even if they're true or not. So it's not, there are some very, very, harsh repercussions from people. Someone, if you're in the workplace and someone calls you, someone accuses you of being a pedo, or being, an abusive, abusive in a relationship, or abusive in the household, or abusive in a family domestic situation. There, even just crappy accusations around in an office can get you fired, can get you, spiraling down a road that you just don't know how to get out of. Like, even though if you know these things aren't happening,
we don't want to go too far in victim shame.
It's almost impossible to get yourself out of them. So it's
a sticky situation. No matter what, you don't want to accuse someone, and you don't want to victim shame. So there's always going to be people that lie, and to get attention and all that, and that's always going to happen. But we don't want to. Then that takes out of the fact that people, I suppose, more than half the people that should come forward don't, because they're worried that the
Well,
the predator's going to get the upper hand. Like he or she will look better. We don't want that.
Well, and that's the hard thing, especially with a lot of these cases and stuff, is that it's like, well, it's he said, she said, like, you know, or he said, they said, you know, or whatever the situation is. You know, at sometimes there just isn't the information. I mean, or the evidence. You know, these days, you know, you can take snapshots of everything. You can keep your DMs. You can keep, you know, like, I mean, from my, you know, if anyone's got an iPhone, a good example is that if you go to the Apple Store, the last, I think 100 something phone calls on your phone can be brought up and used if you need them to be for any particular reason. So that's a bit of information for someone people who got iPhones. If you're worried about phone calls you've got recently, you know, so let's say, you know, you're in a situation where you might have a stalker or you got something abusive and it's all over the phone, and you know, you got no way to feel like you're safe or record it. If you go to a phone company, so in this case you go to Apple, you know, they can bring up on your phone is saved the last 100 calls. So don't feel that if you don't have evidence, you shouldn't come forward, because if you do have the evidence, and you know, these days where on your phone everything's fucking recorded, even if you like it or not, the evidence is there. You just have to know how to access it.
We just got to start talking about a topic and see if it comes up in our ads.
Well, that's something as well, you know.
You know, I really like pineapple on my pies, you know, pineapple pies, you know. I would like to buy that on Amazon, you know, just some dog treats and headphones and plush teddy bears. I'm trying to get my ads to be personalised and see.
Right, okay. See, that's the thing, you know, on, you know, Cody going to get ad, yeah, exactly. I mean, we're in the middle of a podcast. He's trying to get
pineapple pies.
Yeah, exactly. What the fuck are pineapple?
If I get an ad for pineapple pies, you know it's right. That's the new channel's diet, and we just eat pineapple pies.
Yeah, I guess to round this subject off, I guess, is that, you know, don't believe everything you read on the internet, is for one. Two, if you're gonna say something, especially on a platform like Twitter, back it up with actual facts. You know, have concrete evidence. You know, just don't go saying it because you heard it from another streamer or you heard it from another Twitter post. Like, you know, if you're gonna say something, say it with conviction, say it with evidence.
Lots of shit,
you know, and you know, you not only are you going to save yourself a lot of hurt and worry, you're going to save a lot of, you know, people just getting caught in the crossfire, people getting falsely accused of something just because they either have a similar name or, you know, someone's got a bad egg against them for some reason, you know. So it's, you're not only protecting yourself, but you're protecting people who just don't deserve that sort of abuse either. Like that there's also classified as abuse as falsely accusing someone of something they didn't do. I mean, you can go to court and get jailed and get fined for that.
Slander.
You know, it's called slander. Exactly.
Speaking of the elephant in the room, my mask.
Because he got. That's the other thing. He got tested for COVID.
I got tested for COVID because I have a slight respiratory symptoms.
We'll find out in the next few days if he actually.
I'll tweet my results. I'll keep my results transparent. So I woke up with a cough, and you can see me slightly. I only have a slight cough and a slight runny nose. It's turning into a cold. I'll probably have a cold tomorrow. I got on it quickly, and that's important. Let's advocate for the nasal swab. Isn't that bad? If anyone's scared of it, if I can do it, anyone can do it. You just get a probe down your nostrils. And
into your brain.
The worst bit is I tasted mucus and blood because it they scrape along in there and it must have went on my taste buds or something. I was like,
but yeah, that's
and it feels like, as I told you, it feels like no. You got to hear this in.
You want to talk about the disgusting stuff of COVID,
in great detail. It's basically, you know, when you get water trapped in your nose. That's what it feels like. It feels very strange.
It feels like you're partially drowning in your own mucus.
And it's only like 5 seconds, and then it's over. And I don't feel it today. I don't feel like I've got swabbed today. So it doesn't.
Yeah, I'm glad I haven't needed to get swabbed. I'm glad I've kept myself locked away.
Most of the people that are swabbing have done now thousands of swabs, so they know how to do it real quick.
They know how to do it now. Yeah, it's not like a painful process. Like, oh, I got it in the wrong hole.
Yeah, oh god.
Yeah.
No, he's very good. It's just straight in and out. He's just like so good.
One pump chumps.
And you also got to know that they also do a throat swab. So that, I didn't know they did a throat swab. That's another thing.
But I guess to move. No. You
got to talk about dry reach.
Oh my god, I don't want to talk about this. The horror of
Spazmo's got to get tested now.
I don't want to get tested.
It's not that bad. I'm advocating everyone should be tested.
Just shove it right up. No, you don't want to shove it right up there at all.
They do, really. It goes to the back, like as far back as possible.
Something to end the podcasting with a bit of fun. We're going to talk about the DVD updates recently.
Oh, what's with them?
So, DVD, in the space of a couple of weeks, has released its Silent Hill update.
Oh, do you like
which
that?
I have to admit is Pyramid Head and Cheryl from Silent Hill 2, you told me, I believe.
Oh, she's in the movie.
In the movie, yeah.
So I think she's in game number 3. And she's not a main character.
No.
I think from my memory. But it's nice that now she's a playable character.
And we've also got the 4th year anniversary for DVD as well.
Is there any Silent Hill boys in the chat, boys or girls that have played the original games? I was too young, I think.
I think I played one of them, but I don't remember it very well.
I was Resident Evil.
But the first horror game I really remember was Fear.
Fear. No, I played like Fear.
Fear,
the last one they made, Fear 3 or Fear 2.
Which was the worst one. Fear 1 was
the best one, you reckon?
Yeah, story-wise and stuff like that was the best one. They sort of killed it after. The second one was It was like, what the fuck was that?
You never really heard of it? Well, you're going to hear about it now.
That's the thing. We're talking about DVD and games now.
So I can speak of the Silent Hill lore. So to basically this is not going to spoil the first movie or if you watch any movies. Basically, the concept behind Silent Hill is it's an abandoned town in America. It's made up. There's no real such thing as... I think it's based off someone in some town in Pennsylvania. I don't know. I'll have to probably fact check that after. I'll let Spazmo talk and I'll fact check that. But it's based on a real town. It's like a mining town. And so the movie follows... There's a fire underneath the town that they can't get out in the mines. And so they have to evacuate everyone. And it becomes an abandoned town. And so it gets cut off from all of society. And basically you don't know whether it's reality or it's not reality, but basically there's this girl that's connected to Silent Hill, putting it like that. It's a little girl. What's her name in it? I can't remember her name. Her name's not important. He's doing the beard comb while I'll explain it. And she keeps saying, Silent Hill, Silent Hill. She keeps, like, they're in the middle of bumfuck nowhere in America. And she keeps sleepwalking and all that. So the mother researches Silent Hill on Google, like they do. And then she goes to Silent Hill. And then it's really not explained really well in the movie. And maybe the gamers will be able to explain it more. But you get warped into a different... what I understand it is, you get warped into another... you don't understand.
Sorry.
You get warped into another dimension. The Silent Hill dimension.
The games don't do it any justice story-wise. It's sort of like...
Doesn't make any sense.
I remember there's like an opening cutscene like in Max Payne, and then it sort of like goes straight into action. I was like,
that's what you want.
Am I running?
That's what you want.
Why am I running?
That's what you want.
It's like in Max Payne, you get that opening scene where you exit out of the cop car and it's got a little dialogue talking about, after my wife and
kids were killed. But Max Payne at least makes a little sense.
And it jumps straight into like a hotel shooting. It's like, what the fuck? Why am I killing gangsters in a hotel? What the hell is this?
Silent Hill is just it's just like an old franchise, a horror franchise that they've been doing it for years for a bit of fun. And the movies are just... The first movie is honestly a bit of a mindfuck. Like Sean Bean goes and tries to find her, and he's in the real world and she's in Silent Hill, and they can't see each other.
Yeah,
And
fair
Silent
enough.
Hill's like a horror fest. So when the sirens appear, like you'll hear in DVD when you open the door, when them sirens happen, that's when everything goes pear-shaped in Silent Hill. That's where you get the weird creatures popping out of nowhere, and Pyramid Head then appears. And then you've got the cult, the cult in the church that is protected by anyone. That's just a synopsis of the movie. I just outlined the movie.
Just outline the movie for us completely. So what was the first horror movie you ever remember watching?
The first one... Oh, that's hard. Maybe I'm thinking Blair Witch Project.
It doesn't have to be horror. It can be...
No, I think it was Blair Witch Project.
So there's a couple of movies that come to memory for me. So my first really blood and gore movie I remember watching, and that I was told to go to bed and don't look at it, start watching it, was actually the Omaha beach landing in Saving Private Ryan.
Nice. Go to sleep.
Yeah, go to sleep, Daniel. Go away. You know, it's like walking at the worst time. And I think I remember that scene where the guy he's looking for his arm on the beach.
That's a good scene. That's a dark scene.
Where he's sort of like bends down. It's like, oh, that's not my arm. I'll go get this one instead. That was that. I remember that scene very vividly.
Have you ever watched the Blair Witch Project?
I don't think I have. My first actual horror movie I remember watching was Jeepers Creepers 2 at the cinema.
I've never seen Jeepers Creepers.
I went and saw Jeepers Creepers 2 at the cinema, and that freaked the absolute shit out of me.
You were
My mum
scared.
said, it's like, you guys need to go see a horror movie, and I'm going to take you. I was young, so it's like with a guardian, so you're allowed to go into MA movies at this point. And I was like, oh, this is cool. Our first MA movie. And this fucking scarecrow just starts fucking yoinking people out of a bus. Like, here I am thinking, it's like, the worst part about it is, because I lived in the country at the time, came out to mum's in the city every now and then, or every like second weekend, every like holidays and stuff. So we come and see mum. It was always a fun time. So we always do fun things. So going to the movies was a novelty for us because it's like, oh wow, we don't get to do this very often. This is very fun. And yeah, we went and saw fucking Jeepers Creepers 2, and
amazing.
It scared the absolute shit out of me. I was petrified to get on my big yellow school bus.
Never watched it.
We had a big yellow school bus, just like they did in the thing, and I was like, you know, and it's like not understanding the premise of the movie, not understanding that it's like he only kills certain people for certain things. It's like, you know, which explains the scene where it's like there's like 3 or 4 people lined up and he's standing at the front of the bus and everyone's going like, oh, pointing to me, and it's like, and he just shakes his head and then it finally gets to the person he sniffs or whatever, and his eyes just widen and he sort of smile. It's not quite like a Joker ear grin, but it's sort of like just oh yeah, like, you know, like
he's gonna get you.
It fucking creeped the shit out of me, and yeah, then you just start fucking yoinking people out of the bus, and I was like, yeah, I can't watch this movie. I think I had 4 bathroom breaks in that movie or something, and every time I came back, it was just worse and worse.
Blair Witch came out at a time when found footage wasn't oversaturated, so it was crazy at the time. I remember.
Oh, is Blair Witch the one where they've got like the
camera? The project, the one called Blair Witch Project, is found footage, and everyone didn't know it was fake. They thought it was real, and the way I couldn't sleep for like 3 nights, and so my mum like tried to calm me down by taking me outside. I think I've told this story before, definitely on stream. I have. Well, I was petrified of going outside, and she took me out at night time. She's like, "Come on, let's just sit out on the veranda and chill out." I was like, "No." And she didn't know I watched it. I watched it on like with all my friends.
I think the first sort of like, so Jeepers Creepers was the first horror movie that scared the shit out of me. And the first sort of blood and gore movie that scared the shit out of me was, or did scare the shit out of me, was just a bit different because you gotta remember, as a farm kid, I've seen animals die, I've killed.
You're desensitized,
all that sort of stuff. So I'm a little bit desensitized when it comes to Blood and Gore. I'm a butcher by trade, so I'm a bit desensitized when it comes to blood and gore, just because it was a regular thing for me at that. I don't want to say regular, but it was. I wasn't phased by it. Like blood and gore didn't make me want to throw up. It didn't want to make me close my eyes and run screaming, sort of thing. I just remember that very vivid scene of landing on the Omaha beach. That sort of it's just stuck with me, and it's sort of like. When I went to history in school, it's like I wanted to learn about, the beach landings for Normandy and all that sort of shit during World War II. But I mean, yeah, that was the first blood and gore movie that sort of, made me go, oh, okay, that's what happens.
Don't watch.
Drop a 600-pound bomb on a beach with people running around.
I'll have to search about the treatment of the cast in the Blair Witch. I'm a fan of the Blair Witch. The last one they made was pretty solid, I reckon. It's pretty scary.
The mind fuck movie that really fucked me over when I was down was the movie Signs.
Signs, I haven't seen that.
Because the only time you actually see the protagonist or the aliens is you see hands and you sort of see like a half body face sort of thing. But there's this particular scene where you see the whole body as it moves so someone's on a camcorder, funnily enough, and then you get all these kids screaming. I'm pretty sure it's in Mexico because they're all speaking Spanish and all that sort of stuff. And you see the alien walk across the top of the driveway, and it sort of does this. It's thin, it's grey, and it does this sort of look over the shoulder and then walk, keeps walking. It's like, oh fuck, the alien knows what's going on. It just keeps that got me for a while. I mean, the movie in itself isn't that scary. It's just sort of a bit mindfucky. Like, oh, when are we going to see them? When are we going to see them? And then it comes to the last 30 minutes of the movie, and you see a lot of them. So it's like the first time you see it in the movie, the first time you see the movies on that from memory, I'm pretty sure you see an outline of its shadow on top of the barn roof, and they chase it down, and it chases into the cornfield and with the lights and all that sort of stuff, and they come to the crop circle and all that sort of bullshit.
I just brought up the town that I was talking about that's based on.
There you go.
What's it called? Silent Hill, Centralia, Pennsylvania. It's been burning for over 50 years, the fire underneath the town.
Yeah, damn.
Jeez. So that's the actual Silent Hill. Look at it. What the hell? Smoke rising from a large crack caused by the underground coal fire. That was in 2010. So that's what Silent Hill's based on, apparently.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah. So the other. I'm trying to think. Those are the three movies. Those are the three movies that I remember very vividly as a kid. Was Signs, Saving Private Ryan, and Jeepers Creepers.
Good old Saving Private Ryan.
But then after that came Hostel and all that sort of stuff, and that sort of really piqued my interest with blood and gore.
It's brutal, that one. They can't beat Hostel one. It's the best.
You can't. Hostel's pretty fucking vivid. Gory, and it's like real gore, like it's based off real facts. I think in Hostel 2 they actually had doctors on scene to give blood and gore, like, oh, this is what happens when you cut an Achilles heel, and this is what happens when you slash someone's stomach. Like, there are all these fucking horrible things, and doctors saying, yeah, that looks about right. Yeah,
yep. Looks like it'll fit.
And it's like Saving Private Ryan, for example. That was the first one of the very first war movies that actually looked legit. You can't get much closer to this unless you were fucking there.
Crazy. Anyway, does that wrap up our podcast?
That probably rubs up the podcast, the Spazyote Podcast.
Spazyote. How frequent is going to be this podcast, my dude?
I think when we feel like
monthly.
I don't know, month. I don't want to say weekly because we won't stick to it.
Whatever we feel like. You see the upload, you click it.
I think with some good things happen, we've had COVID,
juicy stuff. We haven't even speaked about COVID, but it's so.
We've had all this Twitter
so needed
shit,
today,
and all this other shit. So, but yeah.
Hey, we're heading as well. Coincidence, Slayer? I think not. But thank you for chilling out, Slayer. As always, peace out.
Yeah, thank you to all our Twitch supporters.
Yeah, follow us on Twitch if you're watching this on YouTube, and follow me on YouTube if you're watching this on Twitch.
Do we have any just audio listeners? You're not putting this on
audio.
SoundCloud
Let's
or
put this
anything?
on Spotify. I didn't know we can't get on Spotify. I'll look into putting it on SoundCloud. Do you want to do a SoundCloud?
It doesn't bother me. I mean, we just haven't done much for the audio listeners, I guess.
Hey, yeah, exactly. I've shown stuff on stream, but I've talked about it when I've shown
stuff we could talk about. Yeah. So I mean, it's by all means we'll do what we need to do, but yeah, we just want to thank guys. I mean, we've done a couple of podcasts before together, but we sort of nothing's really stuck. It's sort of like been a couple episodes or an episode here and there, but. I primarily stream and do stuff on Twitch. I'm doing a bit on YouTube, so I might have to get the.
Got to establish yourself on YouTube.
Exactly. Yeah.
Twitch
but yeah, guys. Otherwise, thank you for listening.
Peace out from recording. Twitch will get a little extra, but yeah, peace out. Follow me on Twitch if you want extra. It's just going to be me wrapping stuff up. See you, YouTube. Bye. Yeah.